I just bought the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro despite the release of the Action 6. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I dislike about it, and whether it was the right call to skip the Action 6. So I've had the GoPro Hero 11 Black for quite some time, and I never really quite liked it. And there were a lot of reasons for that. So I really hated the poor battery life. The low light performance was very poor. And the worst thing of all was the fact that it overheated a lot of times and messed up my shootings on more than one occasion. And so even though the video quality was really good at daytime, I wanted a more reliable camera for vacation purposes and also as a B-roll cam. Now with the imminent release of the Osmo Action 6, and also the already available Hero 13 Black from GoPro, I started doing research, but what I did in the end actually surprised me and was not something I was expecting. Despite the availability of those newer cameras, I actually ended up buying the Osmo Action 5 Pro. After owning the GoPro Hero 5 Black and the 11 Black, I was done with GoPro's quirks. I just never managed to really like those cameras or like working with them. And the choice realistically was between the Action 5 Pro and the new Osmo Action 6 that they just released. Now, unfortunately, the new features of the Osmo Action 6 were underwhelming to say the least. The new sensor is not really new. It's just the old sensor technology and scaled up in the vertical dimension. So you can basically create vertical videos easier, which is not really a use case for me. Otherwise, the dynamic range and everything else, as far as I could do my research, were pretty much identical. The next thing is the variable aperture, which to me feels more like a gimmick than an actually useful feature for an action cam. And all of this leads to a higher price of 33 to 40% more than what I would pay for the Action 5 Pro. So I got the Action 5 Pro and I started using it immediately here on our vacation in Turkey. So here are 7 things that I really love about this camera. And there's actually one thing that I really hate, but I will talk about that later. So the first thing I really like is the battery life. It's roughly 2 to 2.5x the battery life of my old GoPro Hero 11 Black, which makes a huge difference in day-to-day usage, basically. And the battery case that is provided with the Osmo Action 5 Pro is absolutely genius, because before that, I used to just throw them around in my backpack, and now the batteries are protected and sorted in that case and can be charged all 3 at once. Now, the next point is the low light performance. This camera performs brilliantly in low light due to the larger sensor compared to my old GoPro Hero 11 Black. Now, the next point is the touchscreen and the menus. The touchscreen is much wider than what I had on my GoPro, and it is much more sensitive to touch. Also, the menus are, in my opinion, much more intuitive. Now, the next point is the integrated memory of roughly 50 gigabytes. This is absolutely brilliant when you already used up your SD card or you forgot it or, for some reason it just broke. Then you can still shoot without thinking about getting another card. Another thing I really like, and I noticed immediately compared to the GoPro, is that when you turn the camera off for a couple of hours, if you turn it on again, it is just ready immediately. You don't have to wait for the startup time that you usually have to wait with the GoPros. This saved me actually on the beach when my kids started walking, and I was able to immediately start shooting. And with the GoPro, I just would have missed that shot. Now, the next point I want to mention is compatibility to DJI mics. I have the DJI Mic Mini here, and it's brilliant that you can just pair it to the cam without using the receiver that you usually have to use with a camera. So this makes basically for a really small kit that you can take anywhere, just this small mic and this small camera, and you can film with good video quality and good audio quality anywhere. And the last point I want to mention is the fact that you can use basically almost every GoPro accessory that you already have with the Action 5 Pro, because the mount is basically the same. Now, unfortunately, there is one thing that really bothers me, and that is the DJI Mimo app that I have to use with this camera. I absolutely hate that app, but the good thing is that I don't have to use it too often. I have to use it for basically firmware updates, and that's pretty much it. And for the mics, I have to use it for a couple of other points. So that's not too big of an issue, but just something that you should be aware of. And also, at least to my knowledge, you can't use the camera if you don't at least activate it with the DJI app. Also, some honorable mentions: the build quality, the ergonomics are top notch in my opinion, and the video quality is really good. I like the log profile, and the 4K 120 footage looks really nice. And also DJI's version of Hypersmooth, which they call Rocksteady, is really effective, and I have no complaints there at all. Overall, I really like this camera, and I've used it quite a bunch on vacation now. And I have no buyer's remorse or anything. I would still buy it today. instead of an Osmo Action 6 or a GoPro Hero 13 Black. In my opinion, this was a really good purchase. I saved some money and I got just an amazing action cam. And honestly, I hope that this video helped you with your purchasing decision. Maybe if you're in the same spot that I was in a couple of days ago, then hopefully this helped you. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.